Libra, I'm Lisi, the High Priestess, and this can resonate in your. No, I actually can't. I'm telling stories, okay? So you don't like a good story? Go with somebody else. Press like, subscribe, notification bell. With the notification bell, you can get my lives. If not, you have to wait 12 hours. This is my brand new channel with my old name. So press like, subscribe, notification bell. All right. Yeah, I just, because people, it'd be like, people that watch me and they really, that watch me, they may not be a celebrity, they might not be one of these positions, but just because you're not in those positions doesn't mean that you don't want to hear it, because you never know when that might resonate still connected to you somehow through a person who does have those kind of titles. I don't know. Also, putting a title, okay, titles are very important. Okay, so double checking your titles. I feel like a lot of typos. Also, I feel like your autocorrect is acting funny, like real funny. It's writing for you. I feel like there's going to be a lot of cell phone activity. I feel like I really honestly, as a collective or in the world, there's going to be some funny things going on with your cell phone, like it's going to glitch or something like that. Or like all cell phones are going to be turned off all at once. Also, I feel like national security, breaching of national security is what I hear. Ooh, that's ugly. Or it's got to be, you remember last year, I think it glitched off of Snapchat and all of that. Like, I feel like it's a glitch. Also, hacking, someone's hacking into someone. It reminds me of what's going on Twitter with Elon Musk, I think, if I said his name right. They said that people that got fired from there were actually hacking into onto the platforms and changing names or using fake profiles to say certain things. All right. The song that is on is Eminem, and he's like, "Sing for the Moment." So this is the underdog. This was a white man in Detroit trying to make it out the hood with all these other minorities. And he was dealing, I've said this before on Virgo. I don't know why this comes up. Maybe someone is the underdog right here. He's from a different nationality, but he was born in the struggle with a bunch of minorities. And these minorities, some of them, because in Detroit there's a lot of blacks, so you're gonna meet a lot of black excellence. So people that come from money, black excellence, black people who are wealthy. And there was this one kid, and he came from a good family, mom and dad, they were married, all that great shit. He was a rapper too. I think it was the Free World. And Eminem was poor. He was trailer trash. It sounds so horrible. 8 Miles. And his homeboy fucked his girl, but he was always really talented. He wrote his own music. He just didn't have money for any of it. He didn't have money for his talents. And so everything that he got was like maybe charity work that people would do, showcases and stuff like that. And the other guy always bullied him because it was like he was a white boy living the struggle that he actually wanted. You know what I'm saying? He grew up with great fucking people, and he was hating on the white boy. They grew up with the struggle. He was hating on him all the time. He was always bullying them. And I want you to pay attention to this, because for real, there's seriously people out there that come from the fucking heights and they got money and all that shit. And you find them all day in the fucking block. Like it's something fucking cool when it's not as cool as you think. You're not from the fucking struggle. You get to go home and sleep in bed with mommy and daddy, while these people are still left in the hood when mommy and daddy ain't even there. And even if they were, they're fucked up on drugs. They're not even there. You know what I'm saying? God forbid if and this person had to deal with an embarrassment because he really wasn't from the block. And Eminem finally had enough. He was throwing up and all this shit. It was his last moment to prove himself. He done fucked this bitch. They were all making fun of him. He was bullied. And finally, like, he let it all out, and he came out with that song where when they were freestyling, and he told everybody, I bet you a little secret that y'all don't know is that he went to private school, and mommy and daddy is still married, and he's from the west side. And everybody was like, oh, and he was hella pissed. Oh boy was pissed, but there was no lie in it. What the fuck you mad at the white boy for? Because he actually grew up in the struggle that you feel like you should have had? He could have put his boy on, but instead he wanted to feel like the big tough man and he wanted to bully him. And then what, he made himself look like an ass at the end. It's not always fun bullying the small guy. It might be the reason why somebody has found strength. Imagine bullying gone wrong. Also, I feel like bullying gone wrong for real. I feel like it's silent. Drops mic, the sun card. Man, is it the truth? Is it the truth that the white man has struggles too? Why is it the white man can't have the same struggles? Why can't every other color have the same struggles? What if the roles were reversed? What if it was all black excellence and white was the new minority? What if that's the era that we're getting into? We're watering down our races when we mix with others. Now, I'm not suggesting that I don't really give a fuck about colors, to be honest with you. Society gives a fuck about colors, and not everybody's like Lisi, the high priestess, because Lisi be colorblind with these fucking eyelashes. All I can see is your fucking spirit. I lied. I lied and pretended I was from the struggle to be fit in. You know what I'm saying? But it's not me, but I'm saying that boy was lying about the struggle when they really never felt it. Now, it's a difference when you're coming from the struggle and you make it up to the heights. It's hard, and then you're trying to stand up to a different level of society where these people were raised with manners, and you happen to win the lottery, or you happen, someone finally broke a generational curse, so you're moving the whole family to the west side, and then now you're with a bunch of proper people, and it's hard for you to fit in because you wasn't raised on peace, you were raised on war. So you find yourself back in the hood, knowing damn well, now you have gone on to a different level of mastery, or your family has finally made it out of the hood. And people start to be like, "Oh, you ain't no longer hood because now you done moved up to the west side," and they're trying to make you prove yourself that you're just as thuggish as them because they're still in the struggle and you're not. You got to be careful when people try to take you down back to a path that isn't good for you. And while we're teaching this shit to our children, we need to teach them to understand that they have already moved up out of certain places. Who the fuck wants to get shot at all the time? Who the fuck really wants to be in the struggle? But when you're raised on it, it becomes comfortable. Groomed to think that you can survive war all the time. Raised on strength. See, that's what the hood does to you. The streets chew you up and spit you the fuck out, baby. These streets are not for the weak. Let's see, now it's a cool thing to find strength in the hood instead of finding strength in different talents, because we're constantly promoting finding the strength in the hood instead of finding strength in the education system, finding strength in spirituality, finding strength in real mentors in the streets. 9/11. Not everything is about the cops. Sometimes like the cops be trying to help you, but you're fighting them, and then you honestly think they're your enemy when they're really not. But it's because the thing is, if we want to change as far as the Masons in the government, we have to teach our children from the block to want to become somebody. So we can change the ways that these people that understand what it is to come out of war, so they can relate to the masses. But that's not my position. It's not always cool. And then we want to be mad at other people for not understanding the struggle. Like these people were raised on education. They will not understand what it is. But why do we hate? Why would we hate people because they were raised properly? Now, I can't hate on anybody that's more proper than me, but would you really want to be as proper as them? Is there a different level of society that we can, like, where we understand what war is, but we're doing better and not feeling like just because you weren't raised on it, you're never going to be good enough. Because even that, the way society thinks, like, I swear, more privileged people give a fuck about their reputation, as far as they don't like being gossiped about and stuff like that, even though behind closed doors they do most of the things that is being gossiped about. Out in the hood, everything is more out there, it's publicly happening. A lot of these prostitutes come from the hood, but they're up in the heights fucking the rich men that are married to privileged women. You understand me? It's all blended in somehow, some way. And that's not saying that someone's husband, I'm just, running up some game. 1111. Talk to your kids. These kids wouldn't understand that. Like, some of the hoodest people are up in the heights, except they carry their hood demeanor a lot differently. They tend to blame everybody else while they're doing it behind closed doors. Ain't no difference from the hood, except the hood is very open about it. We know who is the hood drug dealer, who's the hood prostitute, versus to being up in the heights and knowing who's the dirty politician. But now I'm speaking hood politics here. Speaking on which, I feel like you're gonna be talking about hood politics a lot. It's so political, or political agenda. I don't know. The Ten of Swords, the Four of Cups. Also, um, just like there's news on politics, there's also news about it in the hood. Okay, so the hood, like, hood politics, things that happen in the hood versus two things that are hooked. Like, I feel like it's all interconnected. It's like it's like blood diamonds connected to the war out there in Africa. I feel like something's gonna come out about it. It's gonna make sense. Food. The drugs that are being distributed through food. Like, it's something very political. It's all tied in. Why do the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poor? We got I'm going on Tupac with you guys. We got money for war but can't feed the poor. Hey, blessings. I feel like it's all political gain. I don't know who you're around or whatever, two sides of the spectrum, the rich and the poor. I feel like you could be in a place like Detroit. I feel like the middle class is not too much there. It's more either you're rich or you're poor, something like that. Heavy emphasis on Detroit too. Something going on in Detroit, something political. I feel like there's going to be some kind of exposure. Or, shit, let me find out Eminem is watching me. That is the craziest shit ever. But someone could live the life of Eminem. You don't have to be a white boy. You could be the Asian boy in the whole all Mexican school, something like that, Made it a lot harder for you, but you got a lot more heart than others. And that's the blessing. You got more heart.